This is Shenzhen, Luohu, the Luohu district of East Shenzhen, the first part of Shenzhen. This was the first place developed because it's next to Hong Kong. But this bit with the train tracks reminds me of Hanoi. I lived in Luohu, but I never came down here. This is random, so I don't know why, to be honest. I don't know why. If you watch my videos, you're probably thinking, this guy's an idiot. He don't know nothing. Emo. Why does that say emo? Anyway, yeah. I'll be honest. I don't really know that much in China, apart from that's a happy station. So I have no idea why. Hello, little girl. I don't know why they've got these train tracks here. I'm assuming they're safely out of action. Let's check both ways. Oh, it's not safe at all. Nearly died on that. What do you call that thing? I used to know that word. No, I don't know the word. So, I don't know Wagwan. Oh, this is about to move. Let's see. By the way, it's very hot and sticky in Shenzhen. So this video is sponsored by water. Are you thirsty? Do you have a dry mouth? Why not try all new water? It's water. Alright, is that going to move? Maybe this is a wasted video, wasted megabytes. Let me try and put my water back in my little bag. So yeah, just exploring Luohu, the old hood. Old as in, oh yeah, it is moving. Old as in, I used to live here when I first came to Shenzhen, and then old as in, it's the oldest part of Shenzhen. So yeah, they've got this little tourist, I guess, sightseeing train. I don't know how far it goes. Presumably not that far. On the other side of there is the real train track. Let's go to the old Shenzhen station. So yeah, this reminds me of the famous train street in Hanoi, but this is quite a lot safer. So yeah, here is a random, very old train, so it looks like a tram really, in Shenzhen. And they're always talking something. They're always saying stuff over megaphones in China. They love their megaphones. They love their megaphones. That's a nice old tram, actually. Tram, train, I don't really know. It's on rails. Who cares if it's a tram or a train? But that's quite nice. So I guess I'll follow him for a while. I'm ambling around, wandering and strolling with no real purpose. But yeah. Some of the old China here, some of the old Shenzhen, they're, well, not particularly shiny over there, but they're obviously pimping out this area. It's going to get a little bit better. I can't be bothered to follow the train. But let me show you the old folks' houses. Where do the traditional, normal, average, working class folks live? They always live in these crappy, horrible, barred up places. Because apparently Shenzhen in the 90s was really bad. Burglary and other crimes were rife, so they barred up all the windows. It's absolutely impossible, completely impossible to think of that now. You can't imagine there being any crime whatsoever in China. Although someone nicked my umbrella once. Left my umbrella outside a McDizzles and someone took it. So I was a terrible victim. But yeah, what is China like? The old folks, or the poor folks live in those ones, and then they delete them bit by bit, and they build those new ones next to them. So, is there anything else of note I can say around here? As you can hear, you can't hear nothing. Because pretty much everybody zooms around on little electric bikes. Like that. His shirt actually says Avatar on the back. So yeah, it's a very Avatar, Star Trek, Star Wars kind of place. But this is old Shenzhen. So it's not quite as, well, it's not glamorous or sexy at all. But I found a rather interesting thing. Yeah, I never knew about that strange little track of tourist train. But that's what happens, man, when you go around with no particular plan. You don't study things before. So I can't really give much information as to why this track was kept here. Presumably it's old, and they just decided to convert it into that touristy little train, tram, track, ride, car, carriage thing. It's one of the main things you'll see everywhere in China. I don't know if they're from Shenzhen, because you seem like you get them more here per capita than any other place. But Luckin Coffee, obviously everyone knows coffee both smells and tastes absolutely rank disgusting, so you'll never catch me in there. But if you're one of these people, like most of humans who like coffee, then in Shenzhen you'll either go to Luckin or Manor, or what's the other one? Haiti, it's obviously tea as well, and there's one more I can't remember the name of. But all these Starbucks killers. Starbucks killer. Alright, so that's where it goes. The train goes for, what is that, like 400 meters or something. Obviously you have to buy a ticket to get on it. I would assume that is a complete waste of money, but it's China, so it's presumably pretty damn cheap. I didn't bother finding out because I didn't know this was here. I just came and randomly found it. So obviously it's a kiddies kind of thing. I just saw something that said the Luohu Railway Cultural Trail, and then the rest of it was in Mandarin. Fair enough. You can't get too mad when everything's just in Chinese when you're in China. You know, it's a bit annoying when you're in like France or Italy and someone don't speak English. It's like, come on, every white person should speak English. That's a rule I would certainly implement were I president of the universe. Every white should speak English. Every white and black, I'm going to say that. But if you're yellow, you get a pass. So, yeah, random little thing. You see those everywhere in China, little security booths, but don't worry, no one really cares about anything, really. Before you come to China, you'd imagine, oh my god, so terrible, so scary, oh my god, so scary. The evil forces of the dictatorship will arrest you everywhere. Bro, you never see police. And if you do, they ain't gonna do nothing. They ain't gonna do a goddamn thing. So I'm walking, which is a bad idea because I want to be over there, back towards the metro to go home, because as that Pepsi advert says, I am thirsty for more. Thirsty for water, not for Pepsi. Pepsi didn't sponsor this video, remember, it was water. So I'm kind of going the wrong way, but when you're out for a stroll, there's no wrong or right way, is there? You merely meander as you want. Ooh, shisha. This random place with absolutely nobody in it serves mist holds leisure, ripples of flavor linger. Tantalizing advertising propaganda there, but sadly, no patrons, no presidents nor patrons in there. So yeah, this is reminding me a lot of Vietnam, the kind of street foodie vibes. Oh, jeez, I can't be bothered to go over there, but I probably should. I'm going to cheat and take a lift, or escalator maybe. Alright, so I've walked so far that I've kind of screwed myself, because I want to go left, but there's a village in the way. They call these urban villages, even though obviously it's not a village, because it's in the middle of a mega city. And over there is the train tracks, which can't be breached or broached unless I do this. Like I've said before, China's mad annoying. China's mad annoying. Because everywhere you fucking go, fuck my life, bruv. Everywhere you go, they have megaphones hanging. So in metro stations and airports and train stations, it'll be barking out generic things that most of the world doesn't need to be told, like, you know, don't shit on the floor, don't spit, don't smoke cigarettes inside, blah, 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 blah. But when it's an establishment like that, they will be instead telling you, buy this deal, this food is very good, buy this dish, it's sensational. So I'm sorry, YouTube, I'm going to have to go past it again. That is probably the main Chinese site, to be honest. The hanging megaphone, 24/7 barking bollocks. You would imagine China's full of police, state forces of security. No, you never see them. You almost never see them. What it is absolutely rife with is those goddamn awful megaphones berating your eardrums until you succumb and buy what they're selling. Because that's right, those megaphones are not for propaganda. They're not for anything governmental, no. There's another one. They're frequently battling each other as well for your audio attention. But no, they're just telling you, buy my drink, buy my noodles, buy my rice or whatever. So that's a very bad thing in China. Very, very noisy. Megaphone capital of the world. However, every time you see a bad thing in China, 5 seconds later you get a good thing. The good thing is, it's also the world's escalator capital. That's a fact made up by myself right now. So here you can see a few different layers of infrastructure. That's quite cool. There is Shenzhen's Blue Line Metro. I'm pretty sure that's line 3. Then there's the road. Then there's the train tracks. Ah, thank Chinese God for the prevalence of escalators in this country, especially here in Shenzhen. Because when it's hot and sweaty as hell, as it is here in the south, you don't want to be walking. You don't want to be walking, and certainly not upstairs. So far better to use machinery. Alright, I'm going to stop talking as we see the train pretty quickly pull up to, I assume that will be, well yeah, it only can be Luohu station over there, a couple miles down there. I believe the first station of Shenzhen. Really, really old and crappy. If you go to any of the new stations, obviously, they're lovely. But that one down there, as you can see, is a shithole. Chinese kids, probably gambling. They love their gambling. They get them started early. So, what else was I going to say? Not really anything. Not really anything. But yeah, you can see the old and the new. Here we get a lift, so I'm going to lift myself down because I can't be bothered to walk. And like I said, I'm definitely going the wrong way because I want to be over there, beyond them flats. However, I've forced myself into going this way. Oh well. We're here now, so we'll carpe the diem. So yeah. All of around here is the Luohu Eastern District. You would think I'm looking at most of the city right now. As I look at skyscrapers in the distance, skyscraper. You'd imagine this would be quite a lot of the city. No, 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 no. This is one bit of one district in Eastern Shenzhen. This is far from the whole city. Far from it.